this thing's gonna drive me crazy. What is it? What is it? What is it? Poem, a stupid thing. What is this freaking thing? What hit me? Luna? Why are you here? Is this about that poll on Equestria Amino? I know. I promised to do whatever the fans voted on. I've just been a little bit busy lately with this whole treasure thing and the fact that something really important is happening in real life. I know I promised. I don't have the high ground here, do I? Okay. So, which episode won the poll? The crystalling? Really? Well then, I guess it's time to explore the crystalling. Right here. In the dark side. The crystalling. After Season 5's finale, Starlight Grilmer was the most divisive figure among the community. Some were excited to have new blood. After all, there's only so many episodes where you can have some pony learn a lesson with characters that have been established for so long. And others felt that Starlight should be, well, Sunset Shimmer. But most ponies agree that Starlight's redemption was rushed and her motivation for evil was... Hang on. Poking fun at Starlight's motivations never get old. This was a chance for a fresh new start for a new character. Redeem her in the eyes of fans. Maybe make her a pony on her own and not, well, Sunset Light. Let's find out how they did with this concept as, again, we take a look at the crystalling. So anyways, this episode starts off very promisingly with Starlight, well, showing regret, remorse, and, well, she's confused at the fact that she got accepted so easily. Twilight is also super eager, and of course shows why she's one of my favorite ponies due to the fact that she's just a little bald neuroses.
Oh, well, it looks like you're really narrowing it down.
Oh, these are just the A's. After this, I move on to the B's.
However, we get a really cool and interesting dynamic when Twilight narrows down her choices, and one of them being that Starlight has to reunite with her old friend Sunburst. Weak motivation or not, that's actually going to be kind of an issue. In fact, it's such a great issue because you get to see Starlight having such a flashback and migraine of guilt. You can just see on her screen that this is the absolute last thing she wants to do. Because after Sunburst left, well, how would you like to tell your friend that you became a cult leader and brainwashed an entire village and also completely destroyed time? Thankfully for Starlight, it would have been just an option until that... well, Twilight becomes an aunt. Or as she puts it,
I'm an aunt.
I just love the way she says that. It's just so freaking cute. So, yeah. Shining Armor and Princess Cadence are parents now. We'll get to that in a minute. But that is the quickest birth I've ever seen. When we finally arrive at the Crystal Empire, we finally get a scene with Cadence and Shining Armor that I've been wanting to see for the longest time. Trials!
Being a father is amazing and wonderful and amazing and confusing and amazing, but surprising too, you know? I mean, not that you'd know, you wouldn't know, I know, you know?
You see, up until this point, Cadence and Shining Armor have been kind of generic and, well, very blah. Just very blah. So finally, we get to see a wonderful, wonderful scene that makes perfect sense. Parenthood is a major life change, not just for ponies, just for anybody. Especially the firstborn. As we're going to see later, they're not always going to be on the same page, and, well, they can get frustrated for each other for a little bit. Finally, there's some character to these two. However, due to this, Starlight thinks she might have an out on this little lesson, but it's Spike to the rescue, and now I have my new favorite facepalm. That is the look of a mayor who is really considering to making dragon stew. In fact, she really so does not want to see Sunburst that the first thing she does is, well, play on Spike's eco, and of course it's glorious to see that. Also, her eating popcorn is freaking adorable. But for those of you who have saw this episode, notice that I kind of skipped a scene. This one.
Before we go in, I should probably tell you, seeing the baby might be a bit of a shock.
Come on, big brother. I've met babies before. I expect meeting this one will be any different. Of course, I could be wrong.
I have a feeling this is why the episode won the poll. This is the most controversial part about Season 6, and the implication that Flurry is the ever firstborn alicorn. This is something that has divided fans like crazy. Some are okay with this, some downright hate this, some are trying to find new ways of lore to make sure that Celestia and Luna are still the firstborn alicorns ever to exist, and not this little thing that just came about from nowhere. But here's the thing. To be honest, I'd actually kind of be okay if this really is the first ever firstborn alicorn. Okay. Let me explain. Stop booing. The reason why I'm okay with this is because of one line from Rarity that and the possibilities that it opens up.
But I thought alicorn wings had to be earned by accomplishing some great princess-worthy deed.
If that's really the way alicorns are usually made, if that's usually the way alicorns are earned, wouldn't it be very interesting to see how Celestia and Luna earned their wings or their horns, depending on which species they started out as? And plus, it would make the royal princesses more awesome in mind. They weren't gifted with these amazing abilities, powers when they first were born. They earned it. To me, I've always been the kind of guy who has always admired hard work over natural talent. I would love to see some sort of flashback episode where Celestia and Luna put all that work to become alicorns and then eventually find out why they became the rulers of Equestria. This story is so interesting and it opens up so many possibilities, and it doesn't change fandom conception because, well, we don't know what they were doing before they were crowned princesses of Equestria. Getting back to the episode, we kind of have to remember that something from Baby Cakes. Newborn unicorn magic is a little unstable, so flurries might be a little dangerous. Huh. Really hope no pony was under that. Back with Starlight and Spike, I really do like the dynamic of the two in this episode. However, the best part about this episode, I love this little thing, is when Sunburst and Starlight do finally reunite. And it is the most awkward thing ever. It's so uncomfortable that it's actually hilarious. Though I have to wonder, though, anything interesting happening with the baby at the moment?
We're here. She's a really strong flyer.
So, yeah, that happened. But you know what? It's okay. We get my favorite scene of the episode after this. Because finally, after so many season openings, after so many season finales, we get something that we have never seen in any of them. Celestia and Luna actually do something! They did it! They actually did it! And finally, after 5 seasons of being totally and completely useless in these openings and endings, Luna Celestia, do something! Now, some would say that it's basically just weather control and stalling. Dan had an excuse to have them out of the plot for a little while. I would say,
shut up, let me have this.
So back to the awkward reunion of Sunburst and Starlight, we actually get a pretty touching scene with Spike and Starlight talking.
Well, Spike, looks like my biggest fears came true. I wouldn't be surprised if Twilight decides to give up on me entirely.
It's not your fault. I'm the one who said all we needed was this list.
It's not the list, Spike, or you, or Twilight. I'm the one Sunburst doesn't want to be friends with.
I don't remember him saying he didn't want to be friends.
He didn't have to say it.
Well, Twilight obviously thinks you're worth being friends with, and I do too.
Oh, thanks, Spike. At least I have two friends, even if one of them has dragon breath.
After the scene, Starlight and Spike start to notice that something's wrong. So they rush to the library and they see utter chaos as, well, Twilight finds a spell that might fix everything, and then Flurry blows it up. However, Starlight has a solution. Get Sunburst, because Starlight has been under the impression that Sunburst has been a great and powerful wizard through the entire episode. The truth is, well, he's not. And then we get one of the sweetest lines in the entire series.
But I'm just surprised. You always knew so much about magic. I mean, look at all these books.
Yeah, well, reading about magic is one thing, but you don't know what it was like at magic school. To know so much and not be able to do any of it.
Well, you don't know what it was like to be left behind. And then getting so bitter that you steal the cutie marks from an entire village, and then get defeated by Twilight and her friends. So you travel through time to get back at them, but they beat you again and teach you about friendship, but you're so terrified ponies will find out what you did that you can't make any friends!
Did you really travel through time?
See? I told you he'd be impressed.
Really think about this too. She basically admitted to being a freaking cult leader, a freaking sociopath, and almost completely destroyed the space-time continuum. And the only thing he cares about is the fact that she got to travel through freaking time! Wizard or not, Sunburst actually does figure out how the heck is going on. He basically saves the day by pointing out that the crystalline is the only thing that will make sure to restore the heart. And with one magical powerhouse to keep the hearts together, and one awesome slam dunk from the guy, the day is saved. Now for the most important thing, naming the baby, even though I've been saying her name for the past couple of minutes.
We were thinking Flurry Heart.
You know, to remember the occasion.
And years later, when Flurry asks where she got her name from, she will go ballistic. Anyways, this two-parter is great. I mainly skimmed over a lot of it because it's great, but it's not great. Part 1 had a great setup, and the payoff was alright. The controversial moments are really not that big of a deal, and this is the path that started Starlight slowly becoming one of my favorite ponies. It was a solid 2-part episode. And that's really all I gotta say. Creature of the Night, out.
Ha 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 ha!